ManyChat SMS. Why do I need it? How do I set it up? I'm going to answer those questions and more right now. All right, let's get this party rocking. So we're going to talk about ManyChat SMS, and a great feature to allow you to communicate with your subscribers outside of the 24-hour rule. With all the changes coming from Facebook starting January 15, 2020, you're going to only have a 24-hour window to communicate with somebody that's interacted with you in Messenger. Outside the 24 hours, you're really going to have to use SMS and or email to communicate with them outside of that to bring them back into Messenger. So it's very important to get these things in place, start collecting opt-ins for SMS and opt-ins for email so that you can communicate with them. And you definitely want to learn how to do this. I do have one on email. There's going to be a link either at the end above and at the end of the video that you can go check out the email side of it. This one's going to be on SMS, and we're going to concentrate on just kind of going through this blog post that ManyChat put together. Anastasia put this together. It's awesome. And we definitely want to kind of follow that. They have some things in here, and then I'm going to add a few things as I go through. So just a little note, if you are liking these videos that I'm sending out, please click the like button on the video, right below it, and subscribe to my YouTube channel so you don't miss out on any future videos, but click the little bell so that you do get notification when I upload a new video. We're going to go through this blog post. There's a link, very easy to get to. I'll show you how to get to. So first thing we have to do is we have to set that up. We have to get a phone number from ManyChat. We have to enable the feature, those types of things. And so I have an account. Here we go. I have an account, my real estate account, that I have not turned it on yet. There's some changes that have happened to the dashboard, and you can actually see if you're connected to SMS and email, and I'm not on this one. So you could actually do it here. I'm going to show you based on the blog. If you go to settings and you go to SMS, you'll get to the same type, well, the same spot if I would have pushed the one on the dashboard. That article that we're reading over here, sending SMS through ManyChat, the blog post, you can get to it right here. So you just click on that and you'll get to that post that I'm kind of following. All right, so you can do that if you want. So now what we need to do, and maybe we'll just do a little housekeeping here as far as the costs and the amount of SMS. You are going to get 50 free messages each month. And just lately, ManyChat has reduced the cost to 1 cent per text, and that's outbound text. Now, they are implementing a way to do two-way texting right in ManyChat in live chat. So it's awesome. And any inbound text messages you will not be charged for. It's only outbound that you're sending out. It's 1 cent per text. And then the phone number is free too, because I know with Twilio, you have to pay for the phone number and stuff, and so the phone number is free too. So it's a great deal. Definitely get on board and let's do it. What you want to do is you want to enable it. And so now it's enabled. And then what you're going to, terms of service is accepted. So what you want to do is you can read the TOS and just, read it over. Just make sure you understand it. You have agreed to it by enabling it. So definitely read it over. And then you can see the phone number. I have not gotten any phone numbers. What happens is when you send your first text, you will get a phone number assigned. So once you go through the process of getting those, then you'll have a phone number that shows up there. And I can show you in an account that we're going to do the actual testing in. So that's how you set it up. And so now if I go back to the dashboard, there it is. It says that I'm already set up. All right. And if I clicked on email one, you go right to the settings. So that I'm sure that would be the same thing as if you did it for the SMS. You'd go it that way. All right. So now we're all set up. And so I'm just kind of looking through, kind of follow this. So you got it all set up. Right now it's US phone numbers. They are, Canada is like the same format, and I think they're coming on, and there's a few other ones coming on by the end of 2019. So very soon. We're here in December right now. So basically, let's see, it gets consent, the phone numbers. And so what we're going to do is we're going to walk through getting somebody opted in. Very, very important. Make sure that you run them through these questions. What I've found out is through ManyChat is they've used their attorneys to make sure that these example flows, the sample flow is got more legality so that you don't get in trouble, because if you cold text people, you can get in trouble. So be very, very careful and make sure that you get them to opt in. And the system has some checks and balances. So we definitely don't want to be sending text messages to people that don't want them. So what you want to do is you're going to want to download this. And it's a starter template. I didn't want to do it that way. I'm going to go back out and open it up in a different tab. And it's a flow from ManyChat. And I would save it to your ManyChat. And it's going to come in into, you see here, we're going to test that. All right. It's going to come in, oops, it's going to come into here. It's going to probably say imported from Valeria. I'm not sure how to say her last name. Very smart woman from ManyChat. So it's going to be in here, basically, and it's going to come into consent that way. So you're going to download that. You're going to download this, and we're going to walk through this and the modifications that I've done to it in a second here. So I'm going to close that. We're going to go back here. Now I'm going to open up my version that I've created based on this. So let's kind of look at this. So the first message is, hi, Jeff. We would like to be more useful and communicate with you via text message. If you want to continue, please confirm your phone by clicking it. Your phone number must contain the country and the city code and be in the format of +1 222 333 4455. Definitely have to make sure it's in that format. Now, in the blog post, they do say that you can have it without the plus sign. I haven't tested it with that. They do say you can, so you can go either way with that message. Just have to make sure that it's 11 digits and it's preceded with a 1. That's our country code here, so in the US. So definitely make sure that you have that. And what you're going to do is, this is actually, when it comes in, it's actually a user input field. And you're going to make sure that it says phone type, save phone to system field. And then I would blank out the skip button. If it's not blanked out, I think I blanked it out. I think they had a skip button, and you don't want them to skip it. I guess you could add it. I took it out because I want them to opt in. And I guess they could do skip, and then the phone wouldn't have a value. And so then it wouldn't let them in. But basically, I took the skip out so they can't get around it. And then you can do a condition to make sure that the phone has a value. And so that's where if they hit the skip button, the phone isn't going to have a value. And then they would go down to the message like this. Okay, let's just communicate via Facebook. All right. If they did enter in a phone number, we're going to go to this step, and we're just say, click agree to confirm opt-in for auto-dialed personal and marketing text messages from page name to your mobile number. Consent is not required for purchase. So just be very careful what you change in here. You can change this some. This one is some legality here that's making sure that they understand they're going to get it. So I would definitely keep most of this wording as much as possible. I think they talk about that in here. I think I might have took out the, yeah, here. The flow is created. Example, you can make the text more friendly, but highly recommend using the following algorithm. First, you ask for the phone number and then ask for the confirmation of the user consent. All right. So make sure that you follow that because the laws here are not very nice if you get in trouble. Then I have some fields that I'm clearing. Basically, you could hook up. There is no phone verification here. I do have a couple of video. I have a video on validating phones in YouTube. You can find it in my channel. Unfortunately, the two resources, the APIs that I'm using there, one of them does not allow a plus sign, so that's out. And then the other one is, I think it was a little harder. I did find a different one. I'll put a link down below that you could use that one. It's a little more costly to do, but you're only going to be validating them once. And once the phone is validated for that subscriber, you don't have to validate it anymore. So the cost is very minimal to do that. But right now, the only verification we have here is that it is a phone number being entered. And I'll show you that a little bit. There is some validation, but as far as a valid number, it's not being checked. You'd have to use a third-party product to do that. So I had some additional fields here like the status, stuff like that. I'm just clearing those. You don't have to have all those. You do have to have at least one, actually two. I would have two phone fields, custom user fields. And I would create those custom user fields, and you could call them phone input and then phone call format. And you may use them down the road, maybe you won't. One of them we're going to use, and I'm going to show you why. So once let's say they don't agree, you're just going to go to the same message where if they did a skip button. If you do agree, I'm going to clear these. And then what I'm going to do, and this one's very important, the set SMS opt-in. This is a system tag. So if I go in here, it's right here. So it's not under the tag or add or remove tag. It's down here. ManyChat did add per my request because I wanted, and I'm sure they were working on it, but I was running into this where, okay, well, what if somebody wants out? And I'm building this chatbot for this industry. And I'm like, well, what if somebody I wanted to give them control of their settings within the bot and display their settings so they could come in and change them. And I said, we need an opt-out. And so you can have an opt-out to action. But right now what we want is we want opt-in right here. Then what we're going to do is we're going to take that phone field, the system phone field right here, and we're going to put it into the a phone input or whatever you want to call that. The key here, and I'll tell you why I'm doing this. I'm putting a single apostrophe and then the name. So what I'm doing here is I'm going single apostrophe and then phone, which is right here. That's the system field. And the reason being is we're going to send them over to Google Sheets. You can do this step, or maybe you don't want to do this step. It's either way. And then I put it in here, a call format. I just put the phone number in a CUF, custom user field that I can look at later if I want. And then I'm adding them to Google Sheets. And I'm sending them over to Google Sheets because if you want to verify them, make sure that they're entering them right, looking for ones that are bad that you can always message the subscriber that, hey, this one doesn't work or whatever it is. And this way you could verify them in a sheet and you can see that they're in right. I had this in here before where you had to have the plus sign all the time. And so you could see if you're missing a plus sign, so you could update it. Now you don't need the plus sign, so it may be a moot point, but it's a way to just kind of track and make sure that people are entering good numbers because you wouldn't know otherwise. And so we're going to insert that. And then once it's done, we're just going to say thank you. We'll now text you useful information, special offers, promotions, those types of things. Now, this could be used for your weekly newsletter. So let's say you're sending out a weekly newsletter and you want to send it, and maybe you're going to display the newsletter. Maybe it's on a blog post, so you don't have to send them in the Messenger. I probably would somehow send them back to Messenger to open up that time, because what you'll do is you send that SMS text and then they click on that link to come back into the into Messenger. Now your 24-hour window opened, especially come January. Now you could actually then have them do something there, and now you can actually present a offer to them. So it opens up a marketing or a sales opportunity right there. We're going to publish this, and we're going to run this, right? So it's going to come up, and it's going to say, "Hi, Jeff, would you like some more useful information?" You know, same messages. I'm just going to take this one here. Actually, I'll show you. So if I put in 262.994 or 998.90, I'm going to skip one digit, actually 2 digits. I didn't have the 1 in there. So if they put in an invalid number, it should come back. Oh, it actually didn't. That's interesting. Sometimes it does, sometimes it doesn't. So if I agree to this and say I agree, it says thanks, we're all set. Well, not really. And that's where this Google Sheet comes in. Yesterday I was testing and it kept on coming back, put in valid phone number in, and now all of a sudden it's not saying that. So I'm not sure why. But if you go over here, you can see that this number is not right. 262.998, it's wrong. And so you could theoretically go and say, okay, I'm going to go and contact Jeff and tell him, hey, you entered a bad number in. So you might want to have, I know there's some people, I think Mackenzie does this. She uses a VA to go through this and fix numbers. And you might have to message these people. You might have to have somebody that does it on a daily basis just to make sure, because otherwise your messages aren't going to, your SMS tags aren't going to go out. So I'm going to go over to audience and I'm going to go look at myself here. And so let's say I searched for me and I found me in the audience. So let's do this. I'm going to go to my audience and I'm just going to walk through and I'm going to put the name in and I'm going to go like that. Okay, we found them. And now I'm going to open up the record and you can see that the number's screwed up. I'm opted in, but my number's bad. And so if I know how to fix it, the great thing is ManyChat's added the system fields right here. And so we can actually fix the number. So I'm like, okay, I need a plus sign. You don't need it or not need it, but I'm going to put it in anyway. I'm going to put the country code in there. And I'm going to put 2 more digits in there. So I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. I have the right digits now. And then you can apply. So that's why we have the Google Sheet, so that it's easier to tell when people screw it up. There is no validation right now. Like I said, you could hook up to a third-party product. And I'll put a link down below. And maybe in future videos, I'll do a video on that one that links into this. Like I said, the other videos that I did for validating phone numbers, unfortunately, doesn't follow all the rules that we need. And because if they put a plus sign in, one of them wants only digits and it won't work. So, all right, so that shows up there. And so we were looking here, we could see it's wrong, and then we could fix it in the audience. I'm actually going to fix it to the point of, just wanted to pop in quick in the middle of the video here and just show you one way you could. So the subscriber gave you a bad number, and you could tell by looking at the Google Sheet that it's a bad number and you need to get a new number from them. What you could do is go into live chat, and with another new feature that ManyChat dev team has put together, is you could message me and just say, hey Jeff, the phone number you gave us for SMS texting is not correct. I am going to send you through the process again if you don't mind. So, and what you could do too is you could go, I'm just going to go back to the audience. I'm going to find me. I guess there you go. Find me, and actually if you looked it up and you found, let's say it was bad, because I'd already fixed it. If it's bad, you could copy the number from here. Let's just say this is how much was entered. You could take that and then go in here and put it. Jeff, the phone number you gave us for texting is incorrect. It is, and just paste it in there. I'm going to send you through the process again, if you don't mind. So let's see, so we can get it right. Now what you could do is you could actually put this whole message in a flow and then connect it off the other one. So if I sent this, and then what I could do is then send them the flow. So I go out to there and let's say validate phone, any form, whatever the name of your flow is, and send it. And I should get, let's see. There you go. And so it's taken me through it again. And then I can go through it again and get it corrected. So I just wanted to kind of pop in. One way you can do that is obviously go to live chat and you can send a flow to them to get them back in and set that all up with, a VA or an agent that you have coming in here to monitor live chat. You could easily do that. So, well, actually, I'm going to do this. I'm going to run it again. We'll just run it again. And I'm going to click on that button there. And I'm going to agree. And there it is. And then it came across. Now, one of the things is you can see that if I click on this, you can see the little apostrophe. And you can see the apostrophe on there. But it doesn't show up in here. And the apostrophe, you need to use that. Otherwise, Google Sheet will think the plus sign is a formula, and it won't show it in this column. So that fixes that so that it actually shows the plus sign. All right. So that's why you have to do what I did here, where I put the single apostrophe before the field. All right. So now we have them opted in. All right. And we want to create a message for them. And I'm just going to go back to the blog post. So we did that. So now we're going to add a message to a flow. And something similar to this. I'm going to go into here. And I created this simple flow. And so what you do for this kind of flow, and I'm just going to back out. I'm going to create another one. I'm going to say new test SMS. Once you come in here, you double click on the out here, and you're going to get SMS, send SMS. That's what you want. You don't want this Facebook. And so ManyChat did some awesome thing with the new flow builder. I love it. They have the little icon, so you know what kind of message it is, even though it says right there, SMS or message, you know by the little icon. So I'm going to move this guy over here, and I'm going to delete this guy. So that's all we have. And then what you're going to do is I'm going to go back to my other one right here. So that's how you get to this point, getting that message in there like this. And so you type in your message, and that's the text. And I believe you have to stay within 160. Yep, there you go. 160 characters, one SMS. So maybe if you go over, they're going to send a couple. I haven't tested that out to see if you go over 160 characters, if it's going to send you 2 messages. Haven't done that yet. But what you're going to do is double click out here. I'm just going to go into this one. What you're going to do is you're going to type in whatever, and then to create this link, you're going to do that. And then you're going to send it to wherever the link is going to take them. So maybe your offer, maybe some offer that you're giving. Maybe it's the newsletter, that you're going to have a flow for the newsletter and have them come in for the newsletter. And then you could ask them a question. Hey, are you ready for this week's newsletter? And they click a button. Well, now it opens up the 24-hour rule and you're all set. So, you want to set that up. I'm just going to delete this. And I'm going to delete this because I already have this here. So that's what I did. Is I just basically came off this button and I created a message. And the message just says, here's your offer. And it's a message that's sent in Messenger. So we're going to test this. And by looking at the audience, I'm going to look at myself, and I'm opted in, and I have a valid phone number here. So now I'm going to go back to this flow, and you can test it by pushing preview. It will test it with you. All right, I'm going to bring up my phone, and it should get a text message. Show up here. There it is. So we're going to open up the text message, and there we are. And there's the message. And so if I tap this, it's going to come up and ask me if I want to go to that URL, and then we're going to go to Messenger, and then there it is. Here's the offer. So that way you brought somebody back in to Messenger from an SMS text. All right, well, that's how it works on the phone. And then now you can send SMS broadcasts. And so it gets to be really fun because it has nothing to do with the 24-hour rule. It doesn't, you have to, have to get okayed from ManyChat. I mean, not ManyChat, but from Facebook to send broadcasts. So now if we go into broadcasts, and we're going to broadcast from a flow, and we're going to go into SMS, and we're going to go to this one. That's the same one I just sent, this one right here. So now I can broadcast to everybody that's opted in. Blast them out and go to next. And what it's going to do is, the great thing is, it's going to tell you, it's actually because it knows that it has to have this system tag on it, and it has to have a value in the phone number. So I have 2 members, 2 users that are opted in. And so now I could send this out right away. And let's just see. I'm going to see if, so we're going to send this, send it now, send it all times. I'm going to send it right now. So the broadcast was sent. There it is. There, I just got the notification. And there we are. And so if I push this, just like we had before, it's going to take me into Messenger. And there it is. Here's the offer. There we go. So very cool. Very cool how this all works. And I think we're all covered here. I know we covered the cost. You know, and we can do broadcasts. Actually, if I want to start a new broadcast, if you're in broadcast here, I'm going to go back to broadcast. If you hit new broadcast, then it asks you what kind. The other way, it's based on the kind of flow that you're picking. So if you do from flow, it kind of tells, you can tell what kind of flow it is, and which I had a SMS one. So Let me see. I'm not sure why that's not, because I just sent it. Let's just update this. There we go. There it is. 1 sent, 1 delivered, 1 clicked. So that was me. All right. And so go back to this, send now. So we sent it. What can affect now? Definitely read this. What can affect your delivery of SMS? You know, overuse of capital letters, overuse of emojis or emoticons, I guess. Overuse of exclamation marks, you know, just prices, spam words, free, all that other stuff. Link processed by URL shorteners. So just be very careful and kind of look through this blog post of some of the things that they're, you know, people have encountered and how they didn't get sent. You know, so use proper those things. Here are some examples of text at risk of being marked as spam. Get a free box now. You know, OE today, hey, you won a free t-shirt, great burgers and tasty wine, you know, just a lot of capital letters, prices, you know, all that stuff. Just be very careful what you're sending, otherwise they may not go out. As I indicated, it's 1 cent per outgoing SMS, but during the first month of usage, the page is granted 50 free SMSs. So it's actually, the first month you get 50 free just to test it out. And then a month starts when you sign it in terms of service. ManyChat SMS is a pay-as-you-go feature. Charges an account partially. We will bill you for every 1,000 SMS sent. So they bill when you start using those. So just remember, you know, remember that, you know, there is some additional charges with it. You need the pro version of ManyChat to do it. Well, that concludes our video for today on ManyChat SMS. We walked through how to set it up. We walked through how to get your subscribers opt into it. We walked through how to create a message and even send that message as a broadcast. If you have any questions or comments, please post them down below. Happy to answer them. And as always, like the video, share it across the world, and subscribe to my YouTube channel so you don't miss out on any future videos. Click the little bell so you get notified when I upload a new video. Down in the description, I have a link to a great Facebook group, all like-minded people sharing things. Come on and join us. And as always, have a great week, and I'll see you in the next video.